SOFI on the third. What a move today off those stellar earnings. We got all the way up to 844 and we're up 28% on the day. We got good guidance, good member growth, deposits, revenue. Everything was great in the earnings report. And another thing that happened was we got the fifth wave on this move. So I've been talking about this for a couple of months. For this to play out between 8 to 850, we hit 844, and the last video I said if it broke the 50% retracement, this move was likely done. Thankfully, we had earnings to save us, and earnings were amazing, and so we got the move higher. This turned out to be in a diagonal. A diagonal is when the fourth wave breaks the first wave, and then the fifth wave still goes higher than the third wave. So we ended with a diagonal. And the question comes now, where do we go from here? Well, obviously two options. We keep this bull run going. We come up here, fill this gap, hit this high right up here, while the market tries to go to 420 or so, or we start selling off for the C wave. You see right here, if I zoom out, I've had this labeled for a long time. A, B, C, B, and then we would see a C wave below the overall A wave. Do I like the possibility of that happening still, even with the amazing earnings? I think it could go either way, really. I'm like, because I think it sounds pretty crazy, and I think most people think I'm crazy for saying that we're going to go down and break the all-time low after those earnings. And I agree, that's an absolutely crazy prediction. But this market is also crazy, and if you forgot what happened earlier in the year where nothing could go up and we just went straight down, this could easily, and what I actually am projecting to be, a B, and then a C wave lower on the overall market to minimum 340. And so if you think about it, if that happens, then there's a very good chance this will play out, regardless of how good our earnings were, how good our guidance is, any of that. It doesn't matter when the overall market is going to tank like that. So I'm still leaning towards it doing this, and I think that you should be selling covered calls. If you have swing shares, you've been taking profit. I don't think you should be buying puts though. I'll tell you that. Because with puts, you want to wait till a concrete top and then a pullback, and then you want to buy them on the bounce. So you have a top and you know where to get stopped out at if you're wrong. With that being said, we have an A, B, and presumably a C wave right here. If it breaks this parallel line here at 851, then I would give it a possibility of being a third wave, and instead we hit a bottom here, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 higher to like 9 or 1050. So I'm not saying this is absolutely going to happen. It really depends on how we perform over the next couple of days. If we break this, probably going to be a 5-wave move. If we don't break it, we're probably going to go down lower. And then again, this is pretty much going to be, I would say 50-50 at this point, because I think SoFi probably has a couple more days at the minimum to make this move higher and keep on this bull move right here after earnings. It is overbought, but that doesn't really matter short term. We could keep on going higher, and that's could definitely happen. But I think it needs to do it over the next couple of days before the overall market tops out, because I think that's going to be very key. If we can get a 5-wave move finished before the overall market tops out, we do break this and hit the top of this, that would be a lot safer, because then we'd just be looking at a pullback to, like $7 to $8, something like that. If the overall market were to sell off like that, we'd have a better chance of holding these levels. If we don't, we top out right here, there's a good chance we're probably going to come back down and fulfill this move down to here. Not down to 383, probably not going to go that low, but break this low right here. So I know I sound crazy, but I've been calling this for 3 or 4 months, so At this point, I feel like I should be allowed to be crazy because these moves were also called crazy for a while. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say this is definitely going to happen, and I'm not going to say that a bull move is definitely not going to happen, because this fifth wave could easily be extended. It could be, we could be doing a 1, pullback 2, 3, 4, 5, and that could be the C wave. Because things definitely changed yesterday. The earnings were so good that it can change the chart. We didn't have that information until yesterday. And so again, I'm waiting and seeing for this parallel line to break. I would like this to be a bull move. I don't want this to happen, but I'm just going to use the chart from here on out, and we'll see what happens. Right now, if you zoom in on the 4-hour chart, it looks like this could only be a third wave right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, pullback, and then one more move higher. So there's still a chance that we can go higher to fill this gap or hit this high right here in the 10s before we actually pull back. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm 50-50, but this whole chart has been so spot on for so long that I can't ignore that we just completed an ABC move. So we'll see tomorrow or the next day. If it were to play out, like normally if I was doing this, I would say that, let's say we top here at 850, and the top here of the start of the A wave was 1060. I would be looking for $2.10 lower than right here at 484. That would be 274. I don't think that's going to happen. So you got to be, use some logic too. You can't just go straight by the chart. And I understand that earnings were stellar, and there's a good chance that everything changed yesterday with earnings. We're new company, stocks on a mission, and we'll just see what happens with this parallel line. That's kind of my way of telling which way we're going to go. So I would be watching tomorrow. The level I'd be watching is if we can break 853, and then, probably put in a little bit higher than that just to make it very obvious that we broke this parallel line, then I would be getting even more bullish on the stock. So that's the update. A, B, C until otherwise. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to here. So let me know what you think in the comments. How are you playing this move? Are you selling in the money covered calls, out of the money covered calls, at the money? Are you taking profit on your shares? Are you buying puts, which I don't recommend? How are you playing this move? So glad this played out, because I was going to be so disappointed if we just, melted down right here on bad earnings or something like that. So this play right here is awesome. Glad to be invested in SOFI, and hopefully we get a bull run up to the 9s and 10s here soon. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments.